Well, agriculture has always been a difficult industry to operate in. Margins are thin. Mother Nature rules the roost over whether the harvest is successful or not. But this year, farmers in Indiana have had to contend with low market value of their commodities. Clayton Baumgart spoke with industry experts on the financial struggles facing farmers and why this year has been challenging.
If you work in agriculture in Indiana, there's a good chance you work with the state's staple crops.
We grow mostly corn and beans, soybeans here, about 2,000 acres of each. We do grow a little bit of wheat from time to time. We had just about a couple hundred acres of wheat out this year. And then we have a real small operation of some cows.
And it's for good reason. The crops are easy to work with. They're some of the most thoroughly researched and understood agricultural products out there and have many applications. But corn and soybeans have run into some issues as of late, and it's causing financial strain on farmers around the state.
Not only are we battling the low market prices where we're selling our product for way less than what it takes to grow them, but we're also having to pay more on the other side to get the crop grown. So it's really been a challenge.
This year, the selling price of corn has hit a recent low. In 2022, corn was selling for $7.20 per bushel and soybeans for $15.70 per bushel. This year, corn averaged $4.35 per bushel and soybeans $11.50 per bushel, according to the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service. This, on top of already thin margins brought on by high input costs like pesticides and fungicide, makes it a challenge to operate a business.
With the market being where it is, you might put off those decisions. Any sort of capital improvements, to our farm, we'll kind of put a pause on anything like that and really just basically try to survive and make it through until the market improves.
Heavy rains and fair weather have actually had a somewhat negative effect this year as well. Moisture helps crops grow, but in high levels bring with them some concerns.
But with moisture comes a lot of bacteria, fungus, insects, things like that. So not only are we struggling to break even, but you got to throw more at it, more inputs at it just to get the crop to where it needs to be so you can harvest it.
Last year, farmers had to contend with the exact opposite problem. Widespread drought conditions led to more breakage in the crop, but higher prices at around $6.80 per bushel made it a profitable year for those with fields that survived the heat.
About 60% of the corn and soybean area last year was impacted by drought. This year, that same group, it's part of somewhere in the government, they pegged that about 10%. Big difference.
There are a lot of other factors at play in the low prices affecting farmers. South America recently made huge strides in entering the global ag market by way of investing in technology and infrastructure upgrades. This has caused an increase in worldwide supply and a decrease in demand.
As those investments get made in South America, and they will someday and continue, they're going to be a lot more competitive price-wise in the world market. So it is really a bona fide concern.
And as land rents and taxes continue to increase each year, farmers still have to pay all the other bills that come with running a farm.
Not only are they covering what I quoted was just inputs and land, right? So you have to pay the banker on machinery, and you have to pay overhead, and you also need to provide resources for the family. And so those margins are all getting tighter.
Davis says, though, that consumers are unlikely to experience price changes at the grocery store from all these issues facing farmers in the immediate future. Most of today's corn and soybeans become syrups for processed food, ethanol, or feed for livestock. If consumers see any price changes, it will be on the price of meat.
There's a lag, but cheaper feed will help reduce some of the price in the meat case.
This struggle is on the federal government's radar. On July 23rd, the House Agriculture Committee held a hearing titled Financial Conditions in Farm Country. In it, officials said that farmers nationwide could see a drop of nearly 25% in farm income compared to last year.
With rising input costs and lower commodity prices, farmers and ranchers have worked through the liquidity and working capital they built up over the past few years at a more rapid pace than anticipated and are now beginning to leverage equity through refinancing debt. This has made agricultural bankers feel like they are looking over the cliff in regards to the agricultural economy.
So what can be done to help the ag economy? Officials and farmers agree. Pass a new farm bill.
I think that the farm bill, focuses on farm and nutrition title, but in reality, the farm bill is really a rural community bill. And so there's a lot of titles in the farm bill that will help support our communities and our auxiliary.
The Farm Bill, which must be updated every 5 years, mainly serves as a food assistance bill for the majority of Americans. But it also props up farmers to be able to handle whatever Mother Nature or the market throws at them.
Getting the Farm Bill passed and support for crop insurance is always huge. We got to have when we get in bad years and have droughts and something like that, we got to have support and keep crop insurance funded so these farmers can survive through those bad years.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Clayton Baumgarth.
Congress must sign a new bill by September 30th, or the previous version will extend into 2025.